Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. Most men and women, by birth or nature, lack the means to advance in wealth or power, but all have the ability to advance in knowledge. The beginning of every government starts with the education of our youth. Do not talk a little on many subjects, but much on a few. Rest satisfied with doing well and leave others to talk of you as they will. There is no word or action, but it has its echo in eternity. There is nothing so easy, but that it becomes difficult when you do it reluctantly. Do not go to bed until you have gone over the day 3 times in your mind. What wrong did I do? What good did I accomplish? What did I forget to do? You should make great things, not promising great things. Above all things, respect yourself. Let no one persuade you by word or deed to do or say whatever is not best for you. Concern should drive us into action and not into a depression. Number rules the universe. Bless us, divine number, who generated gods and men. Number contains the root and source of eternally flowing creation. Numbers have a way of taking a man by the hand and leading him down the path of reason. Number is the ruler of forms and ideas and the cause of gods and demons. All is number. Number is the within of all things. God built the universe on numbers. Number is the ruler of forms and ideas and the cause of gods and demons. Geometry is knowledge of the eternally existent. It is difficult to walk at one and the same time many paths of life. In this theater of man's life, it is reserved only for God and angels to be lookers on. We ought not to quit our post without the permission of him who commands. The post of man is life. So in life, some enter the services of fame and others money, but the best choice is that of those few who spend their time in the contemplation of nature and as lovers of wisdom. Some are slaves of ambition or money, but others are interested in understanding life itself. These give themselves the name philosophers, and they value the contemplation and discovery of nature beyond all other pursuits. If there be light, then there is darkness. If cold, heat. If height, depth. If solid, fluid. If hard, soft. If rough, smooth. If calm, tempest. If prosperity, adversity. If life, death. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. There is a good principle which created order, light, and man, and an evil principle which created chaos, darkness, and woman. Anger begins with folly and ends with repentance. Reason is immortal, all else mortal. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Love that shines from within cannot be darkened by obstacles of the world of consequences. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love. Hate and fear breed a poison in the blood, which if continued, affects eyes, ears, nose, and the organs of digestion. Therefore, it is not wise to hear and remember the unkind things others might say about you. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. Learn to be silent, let your quiet mind listen and absorb. No man is free who cannot control himself. The wise man should be prepared for everything that does not lie within his control. Strength of mind rests in sobriety, for this keeps your reason unclouded by passion. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. Lust weakens both body and mind. In anger we should refrain both from speech and action. Practice justice in word and deed, and do not get in the habit of acting thoughtlessly about anything. It is only necessary to make war with 5 things: with the maladies of the body, the ignorances of the mind, with the passions of the body, with the seditions of the city, and the discords of families. Every man has been made by God in order to acquire knowledge and contemplate. Truth is so great a perfection that if God would render himself visible to men, he would choose light for his body and truth for his soul. He lived far from the gods, but in his mind he was at home with them. Every man has been made by God in order to acquire knowledge and contemplate. Man, know thyself, then thou shalt know the universe and God. Wealth is a weak anchor, and glory cannot support a man. This is the law of God, that virtue only is firm and cannot be shaken by a tempest. The stars in the heavens sing a music, if only we had ears to hear. There is geometry in the humming of the strings, there is music in the spacing of the spheres. A stone is frozen music. The highest goal of music is to connect one's soul to their divine nature, not entertainment. Music is the harmonization of opposites, the conciliation of warring elements. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. Beings have a soul. Animals share with us the privilege of having a soul. Souls never die, but always on quitting one abode pass to another. All things change. Nothing perishes. The soul passes hither and thither, occupying now this body, now that. As a wax is stamped with certain figures, then melted, then stamped anew with others, yet it is always the same wax. So the soul being always the same yet wears at different times different forms. Time is the soul of this world. If you have a wounded heart, touch it as little as you would an injured eye. There are only 2 remedies for the suffering of the soul: hope and patience. The most momentous thing in human life is the art of winning the soul to good or evil. Never trust a friend who speaks ill of his comrades, for he surely will speak ill of you as well. We ought so to behave to one another as to avoid making enemies of our friends, and at the same time to make friends of our enemies. There are in woman's eyes 2 sorts of tears, the one of grief, the other of deceit. Write in the sand the flaws of your friend. Friends share all things. A blow from your friend is better than a kiss from your enemy. Friends are as companions on a journey, who ought to aid each other to persevere in the road to a happier life.